Good morning to one and all. I, Dr. Saurabh Agrawal, on behalf of Sri Bhavarlal Dugad Ayurveda Vishwa Bharati and the Gandhi Vidya Mandir, welcomes all the students, teachers, and my dear friends to this 15th webinar of our weekly webinar series. I would especially like to welcome today's resource person, Dr. Yajnik Mishra. He comes from a traditional Ayurvedic family, and Dr. Yajnik has completed his BAMS and MD in Swasthurutta and Yoga subject from SDM Udupi. He has also done a certificate course in Pachkarma and osteopathy from Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, Rajasthan Ayurvedic University, Jodhpur. He has attended various national and international seminars and presented paper in 9 of them throughout India. Dr. Mishra was part of 16 CME and workshops organized at different levels. He received Best Paper Presentation Award at International Science Festival organized by CSIR IICB in 2019 at Kolkata. He has delivered many guest lectures and chaired various academic events. He holds various additional responsibilities in the university, like member of secretary of examination, coordinator for village outreach programs, University Fit India activity, and others. Dr. Yajnik has 13 research papers published under his name in various reputed journals. Presently, Dr. Yajnik is working as assistant professor in Department of Swasthya and Yoga at Faculty of Indian Medicine at SGT, Gurugram. Now I request Dr. Yajnik to address the gathering on today's topic, Vardhakya Charya, supporting a healthier geriatric transition. Dr. Yajnik, welcome.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, doctor.
Thank you for the kind words, sir. Om Dhanvantare Namah. Good morning to each one of you present today here. As part of a webinar series organized by Sri Bhavarlal Dugad Ayurved Vishwa Bharati Sardar Shah, today I'm here to talk on topic Vardhakya Charya. Sir, should I start sharing?
Yes, you can start sharing also, and if you could turn on your video, it will be helpful.
Sir, my video is on actually.
Anyways, you can start sharing your slides.
Sir, this sharing option is not responding actually.
Dr. Yagik, I think it should work. From our end, it is clear. Dear listeners, due to some technical error, we are facing some problem. Dr. Yagik has disconnected from our meeting. Soon we'll start the webinar. Thank you for your patience and stay tuned.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, Dr. Yagik.
सॉरी, थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू था.
हाँ, कोई चक्कर नहीं सर, कोई चक्कर, आराम से.
स्लाइड विजिबल है सर?
नहीं सर, मुझे तो नहीं है. हाँ जी, अभी बराबर, ठीक है सर.
Okay, so sorry for the interruption. I'll start my presentation now. So before starting my presentation, I would like to thank the organizers, Department of Swasthata, especially Dr. Saurabh Agrawal for inviting me as a speaker here. So let's start the topic. It is entitled as Vardhakya Charya, Supporting a Healthier Geriatric Transition. As you can see this picture here, it states number of India's elderly to triple by 2050. To support this statement, let me quote some epidemiological data here. As per WHO, the number of people aged 65 or older is projected to grow from an estimated 524 million in 2010 to nearly 1.5 billion in 2050, with most of the increase in developing countries like India. According to Population Census 2011, there are nearly 104 million elderly persons in our country. A report released by the United Nations Population Fund and Helpage India suggests that the number of elderly persons expected to grow to 173 million by 2026 and which will be triple by 2050. So we can imagine the fate of our country. India, which is now referred as country of youth, soon will be referred as a country of old age population. So to better understand this, let me tell you about the demographic cycle. There are basically 5 steps involved in demographic cycle. The first step is high stationary stage, in which there will be very high birth rate and very high death rate. That is because of lack of basic education, health related education, and lack of health related resources. Our country, India, was in this stage in 1920s. But if we talk about now, India right now is in late expanding stage where the birth rate is controlled and death that rate is controlled even more. And if we talk about coming future, India soon will be in low stationary stage where there will be reduced birth rate and reduced death rate, and so there will be a lot number of old age people in our country basically. Moving on to the next part of our presentation, that is the definition of geriatrics. Geriatric is a branch of medicine that deals with the problems and disease of old age and the medical care and treatment of aging people. Now, if we talk, why does this aging occurs? So there are n number of theories which states like how and why this aging occurs. But let me quote some of the widely referred theories like somatic mutation theory, which says there will be continuous mutation taking place in the DNA and which will be leading to aging. Autoimmune theory, then Hayflick's theory, and the most widely used, that is free radical theory. Now, when we talk about Ayurvedic perspective, in our Ayurvedic science, the old age, the term for old age is used as Jara. And to define that, it is told Jaryati Anyo Angani iti Jara. So the Jara is the condition characterized by degeneration of body parts, and it is considered as Swabhav Bal Pravarta Vyadhi by Acharya Sushruta. Acharya Sushruta in Sutrasthana 24th chapter, that is Vyadhi Samupdeshi Adhyaya, has included Jara, Pipasa, Kshuddha, and Mrityu in Swabhav Bal Pravarta Vyadhi, and he has classified Jara into two, that is Kalaj Jar and Akalaj Jar. We will be discussing about it in detail about it later. So, further moving to Acharya Charaka's perspective, he says, Vayu dhatu prayam kramena jeena muchyate avarsha, which means Vata dosha will be more prevalent or more predominant during this stage of Jaravastha. Means जो जरावस्था है, जो ओल्ड एज है, उस टाइम वात दोष का प्रकोप होता है. Similar reference we find in Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana also, where Acharya Vagbhat says, Vayo ahoratri bhukta nam te ant madhya adhika kramat. So basically, this is the stage of our life where by Swabhava, Vada dosha will be in Prakopita Avastha. Now, let's move on to the Vaya Vargikaran. Acharya Charak says that uh, Jaravastha, the term which he has used is Jirnavastha. He says that it will be commencing at the age of 60 years. Whereas Acharya Shushruta and Kashyap says that Vardhakya, or the old age, will be starting after 70 years of age. Now, let us talk about the aims of geriatric medicine. So the main aims of geriatric medicine are maintenance of health in old age by high level of engagement and avoidance of diseases, early detection and appropriate treatment of diseases, maximum care in irreversible disease, limiting disability and providing rehabilitative care, symptomatic care and support during terminal illness. Now, if you recall the concept of prevention from our Swasthavarat syllabus, where there are four level of prevention are told, which is primordial, primary, secondary, and tertiary. So if we see these aims of geriatric medicine, we can say it is nothing but fulfilling the all four levels of prevention here. See, for example, the first point, it says or it fulfills the primordial and primary prevention criteria. Early detection and appropriate treatment fulfills the secondary level of prevention criteria, and last 2 points, which is tertiary prevention, which includes nothing but rehabilitative care and disability limitation. So it fulfills the tertiary prevention criteria. हेलो, आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या?
सर आ रही है, आप कंटिन्यू करिए.
किसी ने भी मैसेज डाला था कि आई एम नॉट ऑडिबल.
हाँ, शायद उनके नेटवर्क इशू है थोड़ा.
Now, let us talk about some common geriatric problems or common problems which are prevalent in geriatric age group. talking about some physiological problems like senile cataract, glaucoma, age-related hearing loss, loss of elasticity of vessels and muscles, emphysema, change in physical and mental outlook. Talking about the psychological problems like emotional problems, suicidal tendencies, senile dementia, depression, social problems like poverty, loneliness, dependency, isolation, and generation gap. If we talk about diseases related to heart and blood vessels like hypertension, atherosclerosis, CVA due to ischemia or hemorrhagic stroke, diseases of eyes that is cataract, AMD that is age-related macular degeneration, loss of vision due to refractive error, and so on. Similarly, diseases of bones and joint, which is very much prevalent in during this stage, that is spondylosis, myositis, fibrositis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, gout, and so on. Now, further respiratory diseases like chronic bronchitis, bronchial asthma, genitourinary diseases like in males, BPH, urinary incontinence, nocturia, so on. And if you talk about nervous system, Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease are very common. There are certain other miscellaneous diseases like cancer, diabetes, and obesity. So, apart from these, if we say there are certain diseases that, other than these which I have enlisted here, like for example, insomnia. In old age, people will not be able to maintain proper oral hygiene and hygiene in general, and there are so many other diseases which will be very common during the old age. So, when we talk about the symptomatologies and complications of old age, when we say that what is told in our Ayurvedic science, basically, so when we see our Acharya's perspective regarding this, Acharya Charak in Mimamsa 8th chapter, he says, while telling about Dashvidha Pariksha, he says that Hiyamanam Dhatu Indri Balavirya Purusha Prakarm Grahan Dharan Smaranam Vijnanam, and so on. So, if we see this properly, there will be depletion in the Hiyamanam, there will be depletion in Dhatu. In depletion in Dhatu, we can say it may be anatomical depletion, it may be physiological depletion, there may be functioning related problem, there will be depletion in Virya, Bala, Purusha, and not only physical activities, but cognitive functions will be affected here, like Smaranam, Vijnanam, and so on. And further, he says Vayu Dhatu Prayam, which I have already told that there will be Vata Prakopa taking place during this age group by Subhava itself. When we see Acharya Shishruta's perspective, he says almost similar symptomatologies, which is told by Acharya Charak, but he has mentioned some more extras like Vali Palit Khalitya. That is nothing but wrinkling of the skin, graying of the hair, hair fall, and certain respiratory diseases like Kasha and Swasa, which I have told in modern parlance also like bronchitis and emphysema, etc. He has given a very beautiful simile. He says, if I say in Hindi, जैसे बारिश के टाइम पे एक जर्जर अवस्था में एक घर रहता है और ज्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से वो गिर जाता है, सिमिलरली जो ओल्ड एज, जो वार्धक्य से जो पीड़ित जो पर्सन है, उसका शरीर भी जर्जर हो जाता है और he will not be able to do his day-to-day activities like how it is said here, सर्व क्रियायाम असमर्थम. So these are the symptomatologies we can say which is found in old age, and not only symptomatologies, we can say even the complications due to old age taking place during the this phase of life. Now, further, as I said earlier, that we'll be discussing about the classification of Jara Avastha. So, Acharya Dalhana, while quoting on Shushruta's version in Vyadi Samupdeshi Adhyaya, he says that basically there are two types of Jara Avastha, that is Kalajar and Akalajar. Kalajar is nothing but aging taking place how it was set. Okay, it means it is following the pattern. And it is said it is Parirakshana Kritascha, Kalajam Parirakshana Kritascha, which means it is manageable. And how will you manage it? So further, Dalhana says, Annapana Bhojan Rasayanam. which means by the help of annapana, by the bhojana, and even taking using the rasayana aushadas, we can manage this type of aging. The second one being akalaja, that is premature aging, and it is told akalajam aparirakshan kritascha, which is we cannot manage it. So what we are going to do in that situation? It is Acharya Dalhan says, "Yatha dosham yatha vyadhi." We have to treat it. Means we have to treat based on the dosha pradhanyata, based on the roga bala and rogi bala, and based on the symptomatologies. Similar reference we find in Sushruta, where he says, "Nasti roge vina doshe yasmat tasmat vichakshana." Anuktam api cha doshanam linge vyadhin upachare, which means if the disease is anukta, it is not that we are not going to treat the patient. Obviously, हमको patient को तो treat करना ही पड़ेगा. So what we have to do in that situation is we have to assess the dosha, we have to assess the vyadhi, and based on the dosha pradhanyata and stage of vyadhi, whatever our interpretation is, whatever by using of yukti, we have to treat the patient. Further, if we say what are the factors affected by aging? So factors basically are affected by aging are sharira, indriya, because I have already told there will be indriya hani, that may be physiological, anatomical in jnanendriya and even in karmendriya also. The sattva will be affected, agni will be affected, bala will be affected, ojas will be affected, and there are so many factors will be affected by the aging. Now, if we that was the problem part. Now let us talk about what may be the solution for it. So due importance is given for Jara Chikitsa in our Ayurveda as it is part of one among the Ashtanga of Ayurveda, where it is told as Kaya Bal Urdhvang Shalyadam Jara Varshan. So due importance is given for Jara Chikitsa in Ayurveda. And when we talk about like what we can do, what modalities we can use to manage the Jara Avastha, so we can use all the aspect of Swasthavrata preventive regimens like Dinacharya, Ritucharya, Sadvrata, Rasayana, Yoga. As I told earlier, that ultimately we are fulfilling the aim of all the levels of prevention, that is primordial, primary, secondary, and tertiary. So ultimately, when we see this lineup of the modalities, we can say that we can fulfill the requirement by principles of Swasthavrata. So now let us talk about each in bit detail. I'll give you some examples of it. For example, let's start with Dinacharya. In Dinacharya, a procedure called Ushapana is told. In Ushapana, when we say about Falashruti Ushapana, it is told Rog Jara Parimukto Jivet Samvatsaram Shatam Cha Agram. So, like what we have to do, that we all know that we have to, there will be intake of 8 prasriti of jala, around 640 ml of jala in the morning hours. And it is told that by doing Ushapana, Roga Jara Parimukto, means the person will be free from the disease which is caused by Jaravastha, or if we take Jara as a disease as a whole also, the person will be prevented by such diseases. When we see like basically in the old age, people, the higher mental function will not be that good in the old age. So there will be dehydration taking place because of so many reasons. For example, due to cognitive impairment, due to change in the functional ability, medication such as laxative, diuretic, and hypnotics, stress arising from other factors. So person will be, the old age person will be more tends towards dehydration. So if the person is having, if the person is intaking water, a plenty amount of water in the morning, this dehydration will not be taking place. And apart from dehydration, if you are taking water in a plenty amount in the morning time, ultimately it will be cleansing our body. It will be clearing off the toxin accumulated in our body. So ultimately it will be helping to prevent the immature aging. Now, if we talk about the next procedure, that is Gandusha. It is told as Gandusha Dharana in Nityam Tailam Raso. So for maintenance of oral health, because there is a spelling mistake, sorry, forgive me for that. For maintenance of oral health, Gandusha is very much important because it does the Rasnendriya Prasadan, it maintains the oral health, and the commonly used drugs which can be used here are Tilatayala, Yashtimadu decoction form, Trifla Quat, Irimedaditel, and even normal water can be used here. As you can see a photo in this slide, which tells you the success story of a Ukrainian physician, Dr. Karach. During 1990s, he himself experimented oil pulling to cure. He was having some blood-related disorders, some chronic disorders, which were declared incurable by the doctors. So what he did, he experimented oil pulling on himself, and further he got the results. He got cured, and further he treated some patients, some very chronic blood related problems, and he treated the patients. So we say that our Ayurvedic procedures or modalities, they help in maintaining the health, or we can say to maintain the oral health basically. But it is not just mere the oral health; it also helps in curing the disease. Apart from this example, in old age, due to vitamin deficiencies, there will be oral ulceration taking place. So if we are doing with Trifla Quatha, if we add pinch of Yashtimadu in it, we can treat that condition actually. And even uh, there is a reference in Shema Kutuhul. It is said if a person is not able to do Danta Dhavana, I guess he says that there are, if he do Gandusha for 10 times with Jala only, he does not need that procedure of Danta Dhavana. Means in absence of Danta Dhavana, you can follow this procedure. Now, if we talk about the next procedure, that is Anjana Karma, Tarpana, because it does Drashti Prasadana. Tarpana is not among the Dinacharya procedure, but I have included it because in the old days, the visual acuity will be hampered. And because the visual acuity is hampered, so we need to incorporate some modalities which helps in improving the visual acuity, which does the Drishti Prasadana. So for Anjana, we can do once in a week, that is with the help of Rasanjana, Shravanarthe Rasanjana, it is told. And even homemade kajal can also be used on day-to-day basis. Drug or the Oshad Yoga which can be used for Tarpana are Triflagrit, Jivantyadikrit, Patoladikrit, and so on. If I quote some of the clinical studies done on these procedures, here you can see clinical study on effect of Nasya and Anjana Karma in the management of immature senile cataract. The next one, effect of Ushiradi Anjana on Tamira with special reference to refractive errors. A clinical study on Akshitarpana in combination of Akshitarpana with Nasya Karma in Timira with special reference of myopia. So, and all these studies, they have found very good promising results. So these things can be used not only for preventing the disease, but also when the disease occurs. Even for the treatment of for the treatment of senile cataract, Ashtotana can also be used. Ashtotana, with the help of, they add Sandhava, they add Shigru Patraswarasa, and they do Ashtotana with that, and it helps in clearing this senile cataract. Now, moving on to the next procedure, that is Nasya Karma. It does the Ghanendriya Prasadana. The definition is told Nasayam Praniyamanam Oshadam Nasyam, which means instilling the medication or Oshadam Oshada Siddha Snehova Nasikabhyam Diyateti Nasya is told. So instilling the medication through the nostrils is nothing but the Nasya Karma. And it is one among the two treatment modalities which is indicated Ajanmam Maranam Shastha Pratimarshastu Bastivat. It is told that there are two modalities which can be done from the beginning till end, from the Janma till Maran. there are only two treatments can be done, and Nasya, specifically Pratimarsha Nasya, is one among that. Further, when we talk about the indication or falashruti of Nasya Karma, it is told Vata Vibhute Shirasidanta Kesha Shamashu Prapata and Karna Shula Karna Kshveda Timiraha. Further, if we see Acharya Shushrutas, you can see in the highlight form, Vali Palitya Khalityam Venganam Chapi Asambhavam. So these are the indication. And if you remember, when I told about the symptomatologies, as per Acharya Shushruta, he has mentioned Vali Palitya Khalita as complication of old age. And here Nasya Karma is told as the in the indication of Nasya Karma, same diseases are told. So we can easily manage these complications. We can easily treat this complication with the help of our Dincharya procedure such as Nasya Karma. When we talk about what all Aushadh Yoga can be used, so Anu Taila is considered to be the best one. As Acharya Charak says, Jirya Tesha Uttamaangeshu Jara na labte balam. मतलब इवन जरा अवस्था से जो होने वाले कॉम्प्लिकेशन है, जो प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, वो भी इसको अफेक्ट नहीं करेंगे, उस पर्सन को अफेक्ट नहीं करेंगे इस अगर हम लोग अणु तेल से नस्य कर रहे हैं, डेली नस्य दे रहे हैं प्रतिमश के फॉर्म में. If a person is suffering from certain neurodegenerative conditions, Bala Taila, Kshira Bala Taila can be used. Brahmi Ghrita can be used for graying of hair. Even Karpastyadi Tail, Karpasastyadi Tail can be used in the condition related to shoulder joint, or you can say Vishwachi-like conditions. Moving on to the next treatment modality, that is Abhyanga. Abhyanga is one among the best treatment which can be done in the old age people. Okay, Abhyangam Acharayat Nityam Sa Jarashrama Vataha Drashti Prasad Pushtayu Swapna Sutak Dardekrat. So when we see Abhyangam Acharayat Nityam, it should be done on the daily basis. And what it does, Jarashrama Vataha. So clearly we find the reference that Jara, or we can say Jara Janit Vyadhi, or we can say complication arise due to aging, will be managed here by the help of Abhyangam only. Drishti Prasad, it is good for Chakshurendriya. Swapna, as I told earlier, that in the old age, insomnia is a very big problem. So it also facilitates proper sleep. So it can be useful in such situation. And further, if we see Charaka's reference also, he says, Naro Alpa Jara, means there will not be much manifestation of or complications of old age if a person is indulging Nitya Abhyanga. Now, if we further see Charaka's context, he says, he has mentioned three main sites. He says, Shira Shravan Padeshu Tam Visheshena Shilayet, which means Shirabhyanga, Karnapurana, and Padabhyanga are to be done specially. Tam Visheshena Shilayet, it's told by Acharya Charaka. So when we talk about each one of, first, if we talk about Shirobhyanga, for first, if you talk about Shirobhanga, it is told na khalityam, na palityam, na kesha prapatanti cha. Now, if you remember, the complication told by Acharya Shushruta were khalityam, palityam. So those are the indication here. Indriyani prasidanti, because there will be depletion taking place in the indriyas. We can say about the Gyanendriya, Karmendriya. So Indriyani prasidanti, it will be helping Indriya to work properly. Nidra labha sukham. As I told earlier, that there will be insomnia taking place, or one among the main complication of the old age. So this Shirobhyanga will be very helpful here. Now, if we talk about the next procedure in the Abhyanga itself, that is Padabhyanga. It is told Kharatvam Stabdata Roksham Shama Suktisha Padayo Sadhya Evopashamyanti Padabhyanga Nishevana. So Kharatva, basically the roughness, or you can say जो हम बोलते हैं पाददारी, और we can say जो crack feet जो रहते हैं, there will be स्तब्धता, there will be सुप्तिश्च पादयो. When we see old age complications, peripheral neuropathy is one among the complication during the old age. So Suptisha Padayo is nothing but peripheral. We can correlate it with peripheral neuropathy. And it is told Sadhya Eva Shamyanti means अगर हम पादाभ्यंग कर रहे हैं तो instantaneous result can be found in such situations. Now, let me quote you some of the examples from the clinical studies. A comparative study on the effect of Padabhyanga and Tilatayala with Tilatayala and Nimbatayala in the management of Vipadika with special reference to Padasphutana, nothing but the crack heels. Clinical study on the effect of Tilatayala Bhyanga on eye strain. So, by these studies, we can say they found very good results in these studies. And apart from Ayurvedic concept, we can say when we talk about reflexology, when we talk about acupressure also, there are certain points at our feet. If you put pressure on those points, it will be stimulating a specific organ. Okay, so ultimately it will be helpful. And if we talk about the marmology, if you talk about the concept of marma here, so the marma present on the lower limbs like Talhridaya marma, Kurchashir marma will be getting stimulated here. And it is also told that Padabhyanga is Chakshushya, which is good for the visual acuity, which is good for the eyes. Let me quote an example from Gangadhar Tika of Charak Samhita, where Acharya says that there is a nadi present in our body which is connecting feet from the eyes. So there is a direct connection of the feet to the eyes. So if you are helping or if you are doing Padabhyanga daily, you are stimulating eyes directly with the help of that nadi. So you can refer Gangadhar Tika for further knowledge. But we can say that there are evidences which say that these things will be helpful with special reference to the old age problem and old age related complications. Now, moving on to the next, that is Karna Purana. So, in the Falashruti of Karna Purana, you can say it is told Na Uchcher Shrutrina Badiryam. So, we can say ki permanent or complete deafness or incomplete deafness both can be prevented. Syat Nitya Karna Tarpanat. It can be prevented and it can be treated by the help of Karna Purana. And this hearing problem is very common in the old age. Quoting some of the clinical studies, it is not related to the Badhirya, but it is related to the infection taking place, that is chronic suppurative otitis media Karnasrava. And with the help of Nasya and Karna Purana, it was treated. In this study, evolution of the specific Bilvatayala Karna, efficacy of Bilvatayala Karna Purana and Karna Basti management of Vardhakya Badhirya. And they found very good result. Now, if you say कि कौन-कौन से तेल हम लोग अभ्यंग के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं, when you don't find anything, you can use Tila Taila. You can use Mahanarayana Tela. In Mahanarayana Tela, Falashruti, if you refer Bhashajya Ratnavali, direct reference quotes or it states that it can be used in Vruddhavastha, it can be used in Jaravastha. You can find the reference in Bhashajya Ratnavali. Next is Dhanvantara Taila, Kshirabala Taila, and there are so many oils which can be used. We need to assess the patient. We need to see कि कौन सा दोष का ज्यादा प्रकोप है, क्या सिम्टोमेटोलॉजीज है, कौन से मतलब whether it is Sama, whether it is Nirama, whether it is neurodegenerative condition, whether because of muscle involvement the person is having problems. So based on that we can prescribe a person कि आपको कौन सा तेल यूज करना चाहिए अभ्यंग के लिए. Now, next topic or the next part of the treatment modality is nothing but the Ritucharya. So it is clearly said everywhere that one should follow proper Ritucharya. Because as we know, Swaguneratikeshu Vipriteshu Vapuna, so Shruti says ki
ड्यू टू अ फिजियोलॉजिकल चेंजेस कि जैसे जैसे एक ऋतु में जैसे जैसे क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस चेंज हो रही हैं, सो बेस्ड ऑन चेंजिंग टेकिंग प्लेस इन द क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन, द स्टेट ऑफ दोषा विल आल्सो बी चेंज्ड। और ये एक साइक्लिक प्रोसेस है जो हमेशा चलती रहती है। So we need to focus on that. We need to follow proper ritucharya so that the doshas will be in equilibrium in samyavastha. Ritu Shodhana, because Shodhana is strictly contraindicated in old age, so we cannot do, but we can follow Ritu Shodhana in younger age, we can follow in the adulthood. जब तक हम लोग वृद्धावस्था को प्राप्त करते हैं, तब तक हम अगर ऋतु शोधन को फॉलो करेंगे, तो अल्टीमेटली वी आर एक्सपेलिंग आउट द टॉक्सिन्स present in our body. We detox the body, and because we are detoxing the body, these toxins which may be cause for immature aging will be expelled out, and there will not be the scene of premature aging. So ritu shodhana can be done, but it should be done before attaining the old age. And apart from the ritu shodhana, ritu charya should be followed by, even if you are in the old age, you can follow ritu charya. Now, talking about the Panchakarma, with what Panchakarma we can use in old age. So it is told, it is strictly contraindicated. It is told, na shuddhir una dashme, na cha atikranta saptatau. Matlab, shodhana should not be done before 10 years of age. Means in the first decade of the life, shodhana should not be done. Chati Kranta Saptato means after 70 years of age also we should not do Panchakarma. Specifically, Shodhana should not be done. But as I quoted earlier, Ajanmam Maranam Shastam Prati Marshastu Bastivat. So you can prescribe Pratimarshanasya and Basti for such patients. You can also give Mridu Shodhana, but it should be given only when it is required. Means when there is no other option other than Shodhana, you can go for Mridu Shodhana, that is basically Mridu Virechana, or you can say Anulomam. Now, when we speak about these Panchakarma procedures, Anuvasana Basti is told. And for Parashruti of Anuvasana, it is called Bala Vradha Adva Bhar Stri Vyayama Asakta Chintakehi. So clearly we can say it can be given in Bala and Vradha. Like how it is told that Ajanma Maranam Shastam. Similarly, there is one more reference you can quote and you can refer if you note down the reference here. Then, if you need to do Shodhana, जैसे हमने देखा कि शोधन जो है 70 साल के बाद स्ट्रिक्टली कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड है। बट इफ इट ऑल यू नीड, अगर पेशेंट में बहुदोषावस्था है, बहुदोषावस्था इज नथिंग बट द इंडिकेशन ऑफ द शोधना। अगर पेशेंट में बहुदोषावस्था है, अगर पेशेंट में उपस्थित दोष हैं, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, आप निरूबस्ती यूज कर सकते हैं, जिससे कि आप उस पेशेंट को थोड़ा शोधन टाइप के जो बेनिफिट्स है वो आप उनको प्रोवाइड करा सकें। Niruvasti can be given. If I quote the examples, Yapanavasti, Rajayapanavasti, we can give. Prasriti Yogi ki Vasti can be used. Madhudali ki Vasti, and so on. अगर हम और if we talk about further more procedures, Shirobasti, Shirodhara will be very beneficial in patient of the old age, because as I told, psychological problems of old age are dependency and depression and loneliness, suicidal tendency, and overstress. So in all these problems, we can use Shirobasti and Shirodhara. It is going to act like wonder. Further, if you say Parvicharana, Sneh can be used because it is the stage of Vata Prakopa. So Sneh will be helpful in that, but we need to check the Agni Bala of the person, because irrespective of Agni Bala, if we give, it may further hamper the Agni. Next, let us talk about the main point. Let us talk about the Rasayana. Role of Rasayana in Jara Chikitsa, if we say. And when we speak about the various definitions of Rasayana, everywhere we find the word Vayasthapana, Ayukara, Jara Vyadhi Vinashana, Dirghamayu, etc. If he says Sushruta's version, he says रसायन तंत्र नामम वय स्थापनम आयुर्मेदा बलकरम. अगर हम उसका डलहन टीका देखें तो वय स्थापन के लिए लिखा है कि वय स्थापनम इति, वहां लिखा हुआ है कि 100 साल की जो एज जो है, जो एक नॉर्मल लाइफ स्पैन जो है, उसको मेक श्योर करना, उसको स्थापन करना वय स्थापन है. आयु कर्म मतलब शत अधिकम, मतलब 100 साल से ज्यादा की आयु प्रदान करना, मतलब लॉन्गेविटी प्रदान करना रसायन का ही एक यूज है. रोगोपहरणम समर्थम च, मतलब not only as you have seen, as you have might have read about rasayana, when we say about the classification of rasayana as per Sushruta, there is naimittik rasayana. नैमित्तिक रसायन is nothing but व्याधि निमित्तज रसायन, मीन्स एक स्पेसिफिक व्याधि में एक स्पेसिफिक इंडिकेटेड रसायन औषध को अगर आप यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट विल बी नैमित्तिक रसायन. देन देयर इज अजस्रिक रसायन, that is nothing but what we use on day-to-day basis. Okay, and if you see Sharangdhara's context, he says yet jara vyadhi vinashanam. As I told earlier, jara vyadhi can be taken as two different concepts. First one is jara as vyadhi, कि जरा जो है वो खुद एक व्याधि है, उसको भी हम नाश कर सकते हैं, उसका भी हम नाश कर सकते हैं. वी कैन गेट रिड ऑफ दैट जरा व्याधि. एंड द सेकंड वन इज जरा जनित व्याधि, दैट इज कॉम्प्लिकेशन अराइजिंग ड्यू टू एजिंग. Both can be treated with the help of rasayan. Further, Bhavaprakash says yad jara vidvansi vayastambakar. Same things can be chakshusham brahmanam rashyam vesajam tat rasayanam. Even मतलब ही भावप्रकाश ने इवन एग्जांपल्स भी दिए हैं कि चक्षुष्यम ब्रह्मणम, ये सब चीज भी जो है, ये सब गुण जो है, जो हम रसायन से हम अचीव कर सकते हैं, अटेन कर सकते हैं. अगर हम चरक के रेफरेंस, आचार्य चरक के रेफरेंस की बात करें, ही सेज दीर्घमायु स्मृति मेधा आरोग्य तरुणवय प्रभावर्ण स्वरोदार्यम देहेन्द्रियम बलम परम वाक सिद्धि प्रणति कांति लभते न रसायना. And if you see the last line, how beautifully he says लाभोपायो हि शस्त्राणाम रसादीनाम रसायनम. So if you want to achieve the prashast dhatu, if you want to achieve the activities of prashast dhatu, you need to make sure that you are including rasayana in your day-to-day life. Labhopayo hi shastanam rasadinam rasayanam is told by Acharya Charak. Next, if you talk about the mode of action of rasayana, karmukta of rasayana, rasayana, dravya or adravya bhut rasayana is also told, it acts at 3 levels as per Acharya Charak. It is said, as you can see here in the slide, it acts on rasadi dhatu, it acts on agni, it acts on srotas. सो रसादी धातु में कैसे काम करता है कि धातु अग्नि अगर मानदेय हो गई है तो उसको प्रॉपर करेगा, धातु उपचय को प्रॉपर करेगा, धातु के पोषण को प्रॉपर करेगा. अग्नि में हम जठराग्नि के अलावा टोटल जो 13 टाइप की जो अग्नि रहती है, पंचभूताग्नि, धातुअग्नि जो है, सबको प्रॉपर बनाने का काम करता है रसायन. स्रोतस में अगर हम बात करें तो इट गिव्स पेटेंसी टू द स्रोतस. श्रोतोरोध कहीं पे हो गया है, स्रोतस के अगर चैनल्स बंद हो गए हैं, उसको खोलने का काम करता है, सो दैट नरिशमेंट विल बी फ्लोइंग प्रॉपरली इन ऑल ओवर द बॉडी. अगर हम बात करें सुश्रुत के रेफरेंस की कि एज पर आचार्य सुश्रुत what is the mode of action, he says vardhaka, sthapaka and aprapta prapaka. Vardhaka is you can say as ayu vardhaka, bala vardhaka. Sthapaka is vaya sthapaka. Aprapta prapaka is nothing but attaining certain qualities which is not yet achieved. अगर हम बात करें आचार्य चरक के एक और रेफरेंस की, तो वहां पे वो बोलते हैं कि बाय द हेल्प ऑफ वीर्य विपाक एंड प्रभाव दीज रसायन योगास एक्ट्स. अगर हम बात करें मॉडर्न कोरिलेशन की, तो वी कैन कोरिलेट दिस रसायन एक्टिविटी एट मेनी लेवल्स. To quote some of them, anabolic effect, anti-stress and adaptogenic effect, immunomodulatory effect, nootropic effect, antioxidant, hematopoietic effect, neuroprotective action. There are so many other actions which can be correlated with the activities of the rasayan dravyas. Now, let me quote some examples. As I told, Acharya Charak says that rasayana dravya acts at 3 levels. So if we see those 3 levels, if I quote some examples at those 3 levels, nourishes rasadi dhatus. For example, we can take shatavari, Grata, and Kshira. Increases Agni, Pippali, Vidang, Shunti, and so on. Means I have given these some examples here. Other than these, we can add many more. Cleansing of the channels, Guggulu, Lashuna, Pippali, Shilajitu. Uh, Lashuna specifically, if I talk, Ashta, Acharya Charak says Vardhaman Pippali as Vardhaman Rasayan Yoga. Similarly, अगर हम बात करें आचार्य वाघभट्ट की, तो आचार्य वाघभट्ट ने उत्तर तंत्र में जहाँ रसायन के बारे में बताया, वहां पे कुछ और द्रव्य बताए हैं जिनको हम यूज कर सकते हैं वर्धमान क्रम में. लशुन का जो एग्जांपल है वहां पे वो कोट करते हैं. लशुना बेसिकली वेयर आई हैव कंप्लीटेड माय स्टडीज, the former principal of our college, who is no more with us now, he used to practice these Vardhaman Rasayana, and he has used Lashuna Rasayana in low back related problems, in you can say sciatica, lumbago, and many more problems where the impinging of nerve is taking place, where there is radiculopathy, and it acts like wonder. It gives miraculous effect if you use Lashuna in the backache problem or disease related to low back. And there are so many things which cannot be told in this small part of span of time. And further, if we say based on the Deha Prakriti, if I quote some examples, for Vata Prakriti people, Bala and Ghrita can be used. For Pitta Prakriti, Amlaki and Shatavari can be used. For Kafaja Prakriti, Bhallataka, Gulu, Pippali. These are some examples. I'm not saying that you should give all these things only. You need to assess the patient. You need to assess the Rog Bala, Rogi Bala. You need to assess the Prakriti properly. Then only you can give these things. Bhallataka, some people they use on day-to-day basis. Some very renowned Ayurvedic personalities they use it, and they have found very good result. So, but these things should be used with very cautions. So it is highly skilled procedures which cannot be prescribed by each one of us. Now, when we say how Rasayana will be used, or when we need to use Rasayana, so Acharya Sushrut says, Purva Vaisi Madheva Manushasya Rasayana. मतलब आपको अगर रसायन की एक्टिविटी जो है, रसायन के इफेक्ट जो है, बेसिकली क्या होता है कि आप एजिंग को डिले कर दें या एजिंग रिलेटेड जो कॉम्प्लिकेशन है इसको डिले कर दें, तो वो आपको अचीव करने हैं. तो क्या करना है, आपको रसायन जो है पूर्वे वयसी मध्यवा, मतलब आपको या तो अर्ली स्टेज ऑफ योर लाइफ या फिर आपको मध्य वय जो रहती है तब स्टार्ट करना चाहिए, जिससे कि जब आप जरावस्था में पहुंचे तब आपको ये सारे की सारी एक्टिविटीज जो हैं, जो रसायन के जो फलश्रुति बताई गई हैं, वो आप चीजें आप यूज कर सकते हैं. अब अगर मैं बात करूं कुछ रसायन योग की, तो च्यवनप्राश रसायन, ब्रह्म रसायन, अमल की रसायन, एंड नित्य क्षीर घृत अभ्यास. When we see Acharya Rasayan, as per Acharya Charak, he says Nitya Kshira Ghrita Abhyasinam. He quotes in Acharya Rasayan that Nitya Kshira Ghrita Abhyasinam should, matlab a person should daily intake ghee, Ghrita and Kshira. Okay, so there are some Rasayan yoga can be used by each one of us on day-to-day basis in order to be healthy, in order to prevent the disease, in order to attain the activities of Rasayan. Now, if I quote some of the clinical studies done on the Rasayana, clinical study on the effect of Medya Rasayan therapy in anxiety and depression in senile dementia. Clinical efficacy of Guduchiyadi Medya Rasayan on senile memory impairment. Clinical efficacy of effect of Brahma Rasayana in apparently healthy elderly person. फिर अगर हम बात करें इफेक्ट ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड योगा एंड आयुर्वेद रसायन कॉग्निटिव फंक्शन, फिर एवोल्यूशन ऑफ द एंटीऑक्सीडेंट पोटेंशियल ऑफ रसायन ड्रग्स इन हेल्दी वॉलंटियर्स, एंटी एजिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ अमल की रसायन हेल्दी एल्डरली सब्जेक्ट्स, telomeres and DNA damage and aging, and they have used some rasayana dravyas and they have assessed these telomeres, DNA damage study and aging. There are some parameters which can be used for assessing the aging, and they have found very good results in that. There are thousands of the studies done on the rasayana yogas. I cannot quote each one of them, but these are some of the examples. You can, if you're interested, you can go through. influence of Amalki Rasayan in telomerase activities. Now, if you see this slide, this is basically taken from Sharangdhar Purvakhand. Acharya Sharangdhar has mentioned a specific concept of Hani in each decade of life. He says there will be Hani taking place in a specific factor in a specific decade of life. So Hani, if you see this column, Hani, so in the first decade, Balyam, then Vriddhi, Chavi, Medha, Twak, Drashti, Shukra, Vikrama, Buddhi, and Karmendriya Hani. So these Hani will be taking place in one decade. For example, first decade, Balyam, second decade, Vriddhi, third decade, Chavi, fourth decade, Medha. Okay, so on, these Hani will be taking place. So when we see what are the rasayana can be indicated in this stage, so you can see here this indicated rasayana, this column is taken from Dr. Ram Har Singh's rasayana book, and he has given some examples which all rasayana yoga can be used here. For example, like Vacha, in Vriddhi, Kashmari and Bala can be used. In Chavi, Amlaki and Loha can be used. In Medha, Hani, Shankapushpi can be used. Bhrangra, Jyotishmati. These are some examples. For example, in Shukra Hani, Atma Gupta, that is nothing but Kapikachu, Ashwagandha can be used here. Okay. So these are some of the examples which can give you the idea. Remaining things can be by the help of Yukti you can prescribe to the patients. Now let's move on to the last part of the presentation, that is Yoga Chikitsa. Actually, if we say yoga should be yoga means part of the yoga is contraindicated in the old age. Specifically, if we say when we read about the classification of asanas, Sharir Samvardhanatmak asana should not be advised to the patients of old age. We can prescribe Dhyanatmak asana. We can prescribe some of the pranayam, some of the breathing exercise. We can prescribe the Shatkarma should not be prescribed to such patients. So, but we need to see the as I said earlier. Again, I'm saying that we need to assess Rogi Bala. We need to assess Bala of the person, and if the Bala of the person is proper, then certainly we can prescribe some of the yogic procedures to the patient or to the elderly person. Now, let me quote some of the clinical studies done on the yoga chikitsa with special reference to old age, effect of yoga on well-being and healthy aging, randomized clinical trial on yoga-based intervention in residents of elderly homes, and specifically its effect on cognitive function. And they found very good result in this study. Effect of yoga intervention on sleep and quality of life in elderly. Biomarker aging, if you talk about impact of yoga and meditation on cellular aging in apparently healthy individuals, and they found very fantastic result actually. So these are some clinical studies. There are hundreds of clinical studies done on yoga, with specifically promoting health, specifically preventing the old age-related problems. And you can search them, you can refer them, and you can find the result. And accordingly, you can prescribe the yogic procedures to patient or to the old age people. Now, if you see this Ayurvedic lifestyle package for prevention, All India Institute of Ayurveda, they have developed this protocol actually. Means the lifestyle or the dinacharya told in our classics we are not able to follow each and every step on day-to-day life. In the current scenario, if you speak, there are some examples which they have quoted. For example, waking up early in the morning, it should be done on daily basis, and it can be done by each and everybody. Toothbrush, herbal powders or paste can be used, and it is done by everybody actually. Anjana, once in a week can be used, and traditionally prepared anjana, that is nothing but काजल जो रहता है उसको हम डेली यूज कर सकते हैं. प्रतिमर्श नस्य अणु तैला with anu tैला and tila tैला can be used on a daily basis. Similarly, kavala can be used on daily basis, and there are so many other procedures like abhyangam, padabhyang, shirobhyang can be used once in a week, thrice in a week, twice in a week, depending upon your depending upon the time, how much time you get, depending upon your availability. So we can prescribe. It is not that we need to stick to what is told in our classics, but जितना हमसे हो सकता है एटलीस्ट हमको फॉलो करना चाहिए. एंड इफ वी फॉलो इट नाउ, अल्टीमेटली वी आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू टर्न इन टू ओल्ड एज. बट अगर हम इन सब चीजों को हम अभी फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो क्या होगा जब हम when we turn old, जब हम लोग वृद्धावस्था में पहुंचेंगे तो we will not be having much of the complication. We can be leading a long and healthy life. So it can be used on day-to-day basis. Now, talking about the Government of India initiatives for elderly, they have Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, Annapurna Scheme, Helpage India. So it is our duty that we need to find our possible areas for us कि हमको कहाँ कहाँ पे possibility है in the schemes of Government of India. Schemes की अगर हम बात ना करें तो we have got a huge area to work on when we specifically talk about the geriatric care. Okay, so let me end my presentation with the beautiful quote by Acharya Charak. In Sutrastan, he says, "Nagari nagarasya rathasya rathi yatha स्वशरीरस्य मेधावी कृत्सेव वही तो भवेत्." मतलब जिस प्रकार एक नगर पालक अपने नगर की रक्षा करता है, रथी, जैसे आप देख सकते हैं फोटो में, जैसे भगवान कृष्ण ने अर्जुन के रथ की रक्षा की थी, अर्जुन की रक्षा की थी, उसी प्रकार एक मेधावी, एक बुद्धिमान पुरुष को अपने शरीर की रक्षा करना चाहिए, जिससे कि वो एक लॉन्ग लाइफ अचीव कर सके, एक हेल्दी लाइफ अचीव कर सके. That's all I have from my presentation. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers, specifically Dr. Saurabh Agrawal, for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Yagik. That was a very good presentation and a very elaborate one. So in between, we were getting a few doubts from our students who are physically present here, and coincidentally, the next slide which you told was the answer of that doubt. It
Okay.
was a very good explanation, and even I got to know many things about geriatric healthcare. Apart from your topic, we have received a few doubts. I'll ask one by one. So, the first doubt is there any specific amount of Basti Matra that could be given in the elderly people, as there might be laxity in the sphincter? Is there anything told about that?
Basti, जैसे मैंने, as I told, for Basti actually, bus, just a minute.
Yes.
Okay, so for the Basti, actually, when I spoke about Basti, Matra Basti should be which is advisable for the old age people, and for Matra Basti, it is told that Snehasya Alpa Matra is used. Snehasya Alpa Matra is it comes around 1.5 pala, that is around 60 ml, you can say, or 60 gram, you can say. But for old age people, again, I would say we need to assess the Rogi Bala. Okay. And if Rogi Bala is proper, we can give 60 ml. But if Rogi Bala is not proper, or if we say that sphincter continency problem is there, incontinency is there, we can even give 30 to 40 ml of the Sneha for Matra.
The second doubt is that's quite self-explainable, but as we got the doubt, I'll ask you again. Is there any precautions that you have to take before prescribing the elderly asana and pranayam? Like if those
Yes.
people haven't done any asana or pranayam in the younger age, and the patient has come directly in the old age, senile age, so what precautions and etc. could be taken before prescribing asana and pranayam?
As I told earlier, that Shariri Samvardhana Atmakasana, it should be prescribed with great caution. For example, in the old age, due to osteoporosis, you can say, or the bones will be very brittle. So we need to check the strength of the person, core strength of the person, and based on that only we have to prescribe. And if at all we are prescribing, we need to educate a person from the family or the person who's taking care of that person about the precautions, about the complication can be arise, and how the procedure should be done. So it is like something which we need to be very cautious about. So it is better to avoid such straining asanas. We can go for Dhyanatmak asana. And even for Abhyanga, when I told ki Abhyanga is very good, we need to see that when we are doing Abhyanga, we are not putting much pressure over the joints and over the bones. Because same reason, because of the same reason that due to osteoporosis, there may be chances of complications.
Right. Right. So the next doubt which we get almost all the times when we talk about Rasayana. So there was a few slides in a presentation which told like every 10 years we lose one of the body's potency. So accordingly, you have mentioned those drugs which were what we should take in those 10 years. So throughout our life, from our birth till our death, should we consume Rasayana? Or is there any particular thing like for so many years you have to take, otherwise you can stop?
As I have mentioned in my presentation, it is told by Acharya Sushruta that Purvam Vaisi Maddeva Manushya Rasayana. So it is good when if you start Rasayana in the younger age. अगर हम younger age में रसायन start कर रहे हैं तो when we turn old we will be achieving those falashruti the benefits which are told for the rasayana. And as you have asked that reference which I have quoted about from the Sharangdhar Samhita regarding the decades. Actually, it is taken from the book from Ram Harsi, those examples of the drugs which I have quoted there. And I told there also that it is not that we have to prescribe only those drugs, but it is something which is told by Sharangdhara that these things will be undergoing depletion in this specific age group. So just to prevent that depletion or just to prevent the side effects or ill effects of that depletion, we can consume those drugs. And if it is not possible, we can consume the drug which is having similar action.
Right. But yeah, for how long? Like how many years you have to take it?
How many
कब तक
years?
ले सकते?
That totally depends. Yeah, sure. Totally depends on the prakriti. Totally depends on the kala, rogi bala, roga bala. If roga bala is more, it is not certain that you have to use it for this specific period of time. For example, Chyawanprash, if I take example, I have been using Chyawanprash from my, you can say, childhood. And daily, my whole family, we use Chyawanprash. Some people say that Chyawanprash तो गर्म होता है, गर्मी में कैसे use कर सकते हैं? But if you see the main content of Chyawanprash, apart from amlaki, is nothing but the sugar, or you can say mishri is used, madhur ras pradhan, and even amlaki is going to help. We are doing Ghata Bharjana. So these formulations, they have been designed considering each and every aspect of the drug. So it is not something that we need to use it for the specific time only. We can use it for a longer time also. For example, Chyawanprash, Brahmarasayan, Nityakshira Grita Abhyasa is told for like you can use till how much you want. Like whenever you want to stop it, you can stop it. But there is no time limitation for such Rasayan yogas.
So the next doubt which we got is again we know the answer, but I would like to ask it from you itself. So if the condition is not swastha, if it is a rogavastha, so in rogavastha also should we continue the rasayan sevan or should we concentrate on Aushadha particularly mentioned for that drug?
That totally depends. For example, if I take example of diabetes, and as I quoted, the Chyawanprash should be used. So in that situation, we are supposed to stop it. Means if the person is found to be diabetic, we need to stop it because there is a plenty of amount of the sugar present in that yoga. So that totally depends ki, what is the diagnosis, what is the problem the person has come across. And if you are following something from a long period of time, it will be साथ में for you. So I don't think if you are following for a long time, it is going to be it is going to create some problem if you are following it or if you are stopping it in any specific disease condition.
And the last doubt which you got is if the Dincharya, which is if someone has not followed throughout the entire life, and the patient has come to us in the old age, like might be 65 or 70, so should we ask them to follow that Dincharya? Like, I mean, the tailored Dincharya, of course, that person cannot follow everything. So,
Yes,
how can we tell them to follow that?
yeah, that's what I said. I have given one example of Gandusha from Shem Kutuhal. कि अगर कोई person, if a person is not able to do Danta Dhavana, he can go for Gandusha with Jala or no. So that is something which we need to think about. That is something depends on the yukti of physician. For example, if we say someone who is not able to walk, even if we say that आपको yoga करना है, संक्रमण करना है, that does not make any sense. So depending upon the rogi bala, I always quote this specific word rogi bala. Rogi, that person may not be a diseased person, he may be healthy, but because it is a swabhav bal pravarta vyadi, we can consider it as roga also. So depending upon the bala of the person, we can design a specific दिनचर्या for that person and we can prescribe him. जरूरी नहीं है कि उसको हर एक स्टेप को स्ट्रिक्टली करना है, बट जितना वो कर सकता है एटलीस्ट वी शुड टेल हिम टू डू.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Yagit, for answering all our doubts and in such a beautiful manner. Again, on behalf of Sri Bhavarlal Dugad Ayurved Vishwa Bharati and Gandhi Vidya Mandir, I'd like to thank you very much and all our listeners for patiently listening to us and also asking their queries. And in future, also, we'd like to invite you as a resource person. So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much once again, Dr. Yagit. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
See you.